Yeah, it's a nice place, isn't it? Yeah, that's right. Handy for the training ground and the stadium, yeah. Oh, the massive crystal? Yeah, that came with the house. Yeah, of course, yeah, help yourself. There's chips, mayo, and a couple of crates of beer. Yeah, Chairman Paul brought them round, that's right. Hey, Chairman Paul, please be careful resting your chips and beer like that. I don't want to get any stains on the sofa. Okay, guys, can I have your attention, please? Guys! Guys! Okay, we have Uddy here on the video link. He just wants a quick word with you all. Uddy, can you hear us? Yes, Greeno, I can hear you. So guys, I want to tell you I'm all proud of you for finishing second in the last phase of the league. People said you would be bottom, but you have showed chutzpah, and now they look like schmucks. So Beerschot were too strong, and they get promoted. But it's not all over for us this season. We have the Euro Places campaign now. Make sure you give it your best shot, yes? Shalom. Well, thanks, Uddy. There we go, guys. Let's do what Uddy says and give this Euro Places competition our all, yeah? Hi everyone, I'm FM20 and welcome along to episode 7 of Bottom to Top with me here at Lommel in Belgium. So we had a lovely little soiree round the house, the guys gobbling up all the fries and the beers, but now it's back down to business. You'll have noticed from what Uddy was saying, we have actually played through to the end of the second phase of the league. As you can see, we blew it and Beerschot won. Of course, they won the first phase too, so there's no playoff. They're automatically promoted to the top flight, and everyone else stays in the second league. So we have to try that again next year. But it's not the end of the season for us. One of the peculiarities of Belgian football is at this stage in the top flight, the top 6 teams go into a championship group to fight out the European places, of which I think there are only 4 applied to those top 6. But the rest of the top flight, including even the relegated team and some of the teams from the second division, get to fight in another championship to get the one remaining European place. So it's a bit of a weird setup because as far as I can work it out, if after the championship group in the top flight you finish 5th, you don't qualify for Europe, but I could finish 2nd or 3rd in the second league and qualify for Europe. So it's a bit strange. Anyway, let's have a little look at what happened at the end of the season. So, you saw us with the 5-0 defeat against Beerschot in our last game, and that was what really killed our season. We then drew 0-0 with Lokeren. If we'd won that game, we would have gone into the last game with a chance of actually winning the second phase, but as it is, we didn't. We then beat Leuven 1-0, Robin Henkens with a goal. And going to the last game, which is the game I had originally planned to bring you, Beerschot had already played the evening before and won their last game 6-0. So basically going into that last game, I knew that we would need a 9-0 win to get through, so I thought there's no point showing you this because it ain't going to happen. And sure enough, it didn't. We got beat 1-0. But what I want to bring you today is the first of these Euro Places playoffs. All the teams you're up against are top flight teams, but none of them in good form. So Ostend are the team that finished bottom of the table in the top flight. They're relegated and we'll be playing them next season in the second league. I don't know how to pronounce these guys. Eupen, I suppose. Finished, I think, about 14th. So, and again, they haven't won in their last 5. And Charleroi were a mid-table team, but again, in terrible form, not won any of their last 5 games. So, I know there's going to be a golfing class, but I'm relatively optimistic about our chances. The only problem is we have to finish top of this group of 4 to have any chance of progressing. But let's go and see how we're set up for that first game. Going into this game, we only have one major injury concern. That is Bakar, our attacking right midfielder. He has injured his Achilles tendon and is going to be out for 3 to 5 months. So that's going to rule him out of this whole phase of the competition. So what we're going to try today is something a little bit different from normal. Ordinarily, we'd move Brebels out to the right and bring in Abduli. But what I've discovered is the young striker that we got on loan from Ajax, Danilo Pereira, can actually play out on the wing reasonably well. So I think that's going to give us a bit of a better balance because Brebels is a far better player in here than he is out wide. Let's get into the game and we'll see how we get on against Ostend. So I'm not quite sure what to expect from Ostend today. As we've seen, we've done pretty well against top flight opposition already this season. Knocking Antwerp out of the cup and taking Kortrijk all the way to penalties in the next round of the cup. And Ostend, of course, having finished bottom of that league, I'm not really sure how good they're likely to be. It's been a fairly uneventful start to the game, but we're going to try and get our boys to be a bit more creative. We certainly need them to be, because they've not had anything so far. And unfortunately, we've got a goal down just before the half-hour mark. Juan Antonio Ros with his first goal of the season. That's disappointing. Really poor defending from a set play there. I don't know who that was who decided not to jump, but not very impressed with that. So, time to demand more. Come on, boys. Let's get into this a little bit. We've really offered nothing, which is disappointing considering that we're up against probably the worst team we're likely to face in this group. Let's get into the dressing room. We are going to be a little bit aggressive and see if it makes any difference. We'll give it another 15 minutes or so before we start doing too much with the tactics. But it looks like we're going to need to do something. Finally, we have a highlight that starts with us. Is it going to be a highlight for us? Scratch you into Brebels. I'd like to see him a little bit further forward if possible, but he's making his way in that direction now. In fact, he seems to be going all by himself. Oh, and he drags his shot wide. Well, that's a little bit better than we've seen so far. Unfortunately, Ostend seem to have a highlight now. Neven has cleared it. Limbomb, the young winger we have on loan. That's a decent effort, but straight at the keeper, unfortunately. I think he probably had better options in the centre, and it comes straight up the other end, and Ostend thankfully dragged their shot across the face of goal. And so I think now it is time to change something. So, I'm tempted, I don't think we've done it all season at all, but to go 2 up top. So I can bring things around a bit like this. He wants to be an advanced forward, so I mean that's it's a little bit too attacking for my liking, but we'll give it a go. And we'll go a little bit more direct, up the tempo a bit, and see if that makes a difference. And we'll go attacking, and we'll get them creative again. Can we pull ourselves back into this game? It doesn't look like it. This has been a really poor showing. We do have a highlight now though. Kujabi to Henkens. Scratch you back to Kujabi. That's a good ball out wide. Oh, and what a finish that is from Brebels. Excellent goal. So he knocked that nicely from one side of the pitch to the other. It was a good ball from Scretchu out to the left-hand side where Kamas was overlapping, as he often does. A decent cross into the back post and a very controlled volley finish from Brebels. Nice little cartwheel to finish it off too. So, okay. Well, I've been hoping for a little bit more. I was thinking we might get a win out of this game, but all things considered, I'll take a draw. So we're going into an international break now, and then we have 3 consecutive away games, so that's going to be a bit of a tough run. What I think I'll probably do, one of 2 things. If we're still in with a chance in this, I'll bring you the last 2 games. Otherwise, if we've blown it by then, which in all likelihood we would have done. We'll just come back for the last game and then do the end of season review stuff and all that kind of thing. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's episode, and if you did, I'd be grateful if you drop a like on there and help it get seen by more people. Any comments you've got about this save, I'd love to see them too. And of course, if you haven't subscribed yet, then please consider doing so. The more the merrier. All that remains is for me to thank you for watching, and we'll see you soon for some more action as we try and take Lommel from the bottom to the top. Bye for now.